Hello, Belle. Sorry, I'm super sleepy in the airport, but I just watched a video and thought I'd give you some feedback. Right off the bat, I mean, unbelievable. I'm so proud of him for sitting there that long and just super regulated, super calm body. You know, there were a couple of those impulsive kind of grabs, whatever. But overall, just a bunch of compliments. So keep up the good work. Your tone was amazing. I know it's hard. I mean, it's literally something that I struggle with. So you're getting there, but I'm so proud of how well you're implementing all this feedback. Good job getting his back to sit up, even the multiple pencil grips that you did, adjustments I should say. But then remember to, if you're having his back sit back, I think there were a couple times that he was kind of leaning forward to poke, but when you bring his body back, the board was still a little too far. So that way he was kind of leaning forward to have to get to the board. So just make sure that that board, especially because he's so small with the tiniest arms, make sure that when you get him to sit up straight, that the board is really above his knees so he doesn't have to reach forward for it. It was really good that you kind of decreased that gestural prompt, gave him more of the directional prompt. Super impressive. He barely had any missed pokes. Always remember to, if he is mispoking, to just kind of do, I don't have a board with me because I'm just sitting in the airport awkwardly doing this. But if he needs a reset, then you can just, as simple as just lifting it up real quick. You don't necessarily have to, lift it up all the way. Sometimes if I'm pulling up the board, it'll just be that, or I might flatten it, or I don't know, lift it up another way. I kind of like the flat, or just a quick little just to get him back on track. Again, great pencil adjustments. Don't forget though that if these videos are over 20 minutes, just to give me some timestamps of, what you think the areas that went well, or the areas that you feel you need more support and you want me to kind of look at, hey, what would you do in this situation? The super hard pokes can be tricky, but I actually do have a client right now that's similar in his age that I've been going through kind of those stabs, I would call it almost. I will try and find a good clip of that and send it your way to show you kind of how I work with that. But again, that's something that you just have to prompt, all right, bud, follow my voice. We're gonna go nice and slow. The slower the pokes, the more purposeful. I might even do one hand over hand and just be listen, I'm just gonna touch your hand. I want you to feel the pace and the connection. I think I got from Evie at one point, she's sometimes I'll just be okay, next letter, and I whisper, and I want you to poke as soft as a butterfly landing on a flower. So just soft, poke it, go right to it. Sorry, I've got some skin there, it's gross. Gentle, nice and slow. Just really, really slow down those pokes, and then that's also, a good time to sometimes remind him, slow and steady wins the race. The slower you poke, the more purposeful. And as we are progressing and moving up to these next levels, we really need you to work on going slow, because when you're starting to talk openly, then that is where things get messy. I'm just so proud of his regulation and the fact that he stayed in the chair. Good job with the finger massages. And I might have to rewatch it, but I think at one point you had like 9 minutes of just spelling. I couldn't remember if you read in there or not, but really, really be conscious, because that was kind of shortly right before he did his first kind of grab. So really just try to read and just do like 4 words and then read, just so he has that chill down time. And then also, if you can, get a rolly chair, because the rolly chairs, you can hopefully prevent some of those contacts and scoot away. And yeah, the more that I watched, I do think that the board, you'd benefit if it was a little bit closer to his knee. And then also, when it comes to the super duper like crazy pokes, I think I ask this every time, but have you tried a 26 sensory board to where he's just poking with his finger? Sometimes it ends up being just as like intense and stabby, but also sometimes you might be able to coach it a little bit better if it's the finger and he has that feedback. And then, yeah, if he ever starts grabbing again, you know, just maybe say like, all right, give me like 3 more letters. We'll go nice and slow. Let's just do a spell word. And then we're going to take a break and try and do some movement. And yeah, overall, I'm just so proud. There were a couple times though that you repeated yourself a few times. So always remember for that wait time. So, you know, shoulders back up straight, and then just give him like 30 seconds or so to try and move his body on his own. And then you can, you know, say like, all right, I'm gonna break it down. First, let's get those feet on the floor. You might like point to the floor and give him like 15 seconds or so, and then say, I want you to feel the soles of your feet on the floor. Let's get them flat. And then he does that. And then you say, okay, now let's work on pushing your hips back. And then again, a little bit of wait time. And then you can say, okay, shoulders back. And then pencil up and let's go. But yeah, overall that was amazing. He's getting so big. And that was a really, really, you should feel very proud of that session, because yeah, I don't think he got up once. And the accuracy was there and everything. And yes, I do agree. I will find a lesson on IAS that I think might be a little more exciting for him. But even then, he seemed to be pretty into this dogs thing. But yeah, let's bring the cog up, see how it goes, and keep up the good work.